Welcome ladies and gentlemen back to the Motive Racing YouTube channel. We're here for the fourth round of the GT3 Championship here on Assetto Corsa Competizione on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 platform. We're at Brands Hatch here for another round here in Britain, another part of the British Lake here for the GT3 World Tour, and we've got 16 drivers out on the track. We're expecting a couple more in before we get going for the race, so nearly a full grid here for tonight. I think we should have 18 by the time we've all filled up, which is absolutely brilliant. But here we are then at the famous Brands Hatch circuit, which used to alternate for the Formula 1 British Grand Prix with Silverstone way back in the day, but still a hot shot venue in the touring cars, British Touring Car Championship, as well as the Superbikes as well. So very much a venue which is still very much relevant in world motorsport as well as British motorsport. And we're currently watching Emo Guy at the moment making his return to the racetrack after a little bit of time in the commentary box with myself over the last couple of weeks. He was itching to get himself back up behind the wheel after spending hours on end talking about people driving around the track. He now gets to do it again himself, which is absolutely brilliant to see. Driving in the treble 6 Aston Martin by the looks of it. He's really getting into his Aston Martins as of late, and he's currently doing an excellent job here with just over 10 minutes left to go here in this qualifying session. So let's see what Ian can do here tonight. He's currently just under 2 seconds off for the fastest time, being set by this man here, Nils Barsa, who is seeming to be on a bit of another wavelength from these drivers tonight. We saw it in the opening round at Spa, we saw it again last time out at Silverstone. He seemed to have extremely excellent pace, seemed to have that little bit extra over Rocco last time out, although Rocco was able to get reasonably close to him. Monza wasn't quite on the dominant fashion. Nils Barsa did end up taking third place at Monza, but the other two races he's taken wins, so he's been looking very strong over the course of this season so far. He'll be looking to try and extend his championship gap if he can in the number 18 Ferrari. We've got big news though tonight, as we've got a new face driving in the GT3 Championship for tonight as well. We've got Game for Life, one of the regulars in the Formula 1 League, on a Friday night on the Codemasters Formula 1 game here at Motive. He drives in the McLaren on the Fridays. He's going to be driving in the Lamborghini, the number 563 for tonight. That's going to be exciting to see Game for Life making his debut here on ACC at Motive. As we said before, he's the driver who's raced in the F1 League many a time over the last few seasons, so we are absolutely very excited to see how Game for Life can get on tonight, as he's just leaving the garage and about to embark on a few laps here. He's got plenty of time in the session, still 9 minutes left to go in this qualifying session, as we've got Nils Barsa there, the provisional pole sitter, just extending his pole position margin by a little bit more as he goes wide through Paddock Hill Bend there. We've got AA Ratchet currently second at the moment, still got a bit of time to find in the number 17 Bentley. You've got Morato running in third place at the moment on that leaderboard in the Ferrari. Spuz also in the Ferrari coming up towards the line. What can Spuz do here? He can't improve at the moment, stays in P4 for now. You got Emo Guy just coming on the exit of Druids at the moment. ST12 Dash coming on the exit of Sheens out onto the back straight in the McLaren. You got Rocco currently 2 seconds off the pace, not where he wants to be at the moment. Had a great showing at Silverstone last time out last week. Was able to really take the fight to Nils Barsa, so we'll be able to see whether or not he's got anything to offer him this time around. Also got Awesome Gumball running in 8th place at the moment, ahead of Scuderia Paul in 9th. Yellow Army completing the top 10 so far, with J Polotto in 11th, and Nilsson, the last driver to have set a lap time so far in this qualifying session. Then you got Rompu, Just Dawns, Stones Racing, Raki and Game for Life, all still yet to set lap times here in this session, but 8 minutes left to go, still plenty of time. Raki jumping in as a late stand in reserve tonight. Great to see Raki on the track as always, regular in our F1 League on a Friday as well, but started out his Motive Racing career on ACC, so he's back where it all started here for Raki. Used to race regularly in our Porsche Super Cup when it was on a Monday night, it's now on a Friday night. By the way, big plug to the Porsche Super Cup, guys. If you want to get involved in the Porsche Super Cup, it'll be running on Friday nights here at Motive. We had the first race on Friday. It wasn't streamed, as we did have a little bit of a lower turnout than we would have ideally hoped for. So if you guys like the Porsche Cup cars, if you want to get involved, by all means sign up. We will stream it if there's enough cars out on the track. If we've got 12 drivers out on the track or more, I will definitely be streaming that live to the channel. You can absolutely bet on that. So if you want to get involved, if you know anybody who might want to get involved as well, then definitely head over to the website www.motiveracing.com. Make sure you're a member of the Discord server beforehand, otherwise your sign up will be ignored, obviously, because being a member of the Discord is mandatory in order to take part in the leagues. But Currently we're watching Raki coming through the middle part of the lap. Look like he cut that corner a little bit. I'll be very surprised if he didn't get a slowdown, or not a slowdown, an invalid lap time for that one. As we see, Spuz has managed to get within a second of Nils Barsa, currently the closest man to the provisional pole sitter at the moment. Luck Morato's got ahead of Ratchid, and in fact Luck Morato's just gone P2 there, so he gets himself within 0.6 of a second of Nils Barsa's time, almost dipping into the 124s there for Luck Morato. Not too far off at all, so solid stuff there from Luck Morato so far. Emo guy in the pits, as is SD12 Dash. What's going on elsewhere? You got Spuz currently coming to the middle part of the lap. Ratchid in the pits. Rocco's just coming to the final part of the lap here. Rocco did a really good performance last time out at Silverstone. The Lexus, I wouldn't imagine, is going to be the best car around Brands. So let's see what he can do here. Surely it's going to be a damage limitation round for Rocco as he's coming over the line. And he doesn't improve that time around. Stays in P7 for now, but yeah, definitely not a track where you'd expect the Lexus to be too strong, so maybe this is just about making sure you can get some good points on the board and not losing out too much here. But Rocco currently flying high in the championship. He's up near the top with Nils Barsa, managed to get ahead of him, managed to finish in front of him at Monza, got a P2, but in the other races it's been Nils Barsa taking the wins. Nils and Rocco have shared the top two in 2 of the 3 races so far this season, that being the season opener at Spa and last week's round 3 at Silverstone. They came 2nd and 3rd at Monza, but Rocco did manage to get ahead of Nils for that one, so they're pretty nip and tuck over the course of the first few races here then. But Nils looking to try and extend the gap around the track that the Ferrari is going to be pretty strong around, unlike Rocco in the Lexus, which we are expecting to struggle. Raki, the only other Lexus out on the track at the moment, currently down in P14. So it just goes to show what a good job Rocco's doing of extracting everything he can out of the car at this moment. But we see Raki coming out on the last corner here. What can Raki put on the board? As we just noticed, Luck Morato's got within 0.3 of a second of Nils Barsa's provisional pole time. Raki improves his time by 0.6 of a second, not enough to move himself particularly far up the order, but we've got Luck Morato here within 0.3 of a second of Nils Barsa at the moment, and currently doing a very, very good job trying to bring that gap down, trying to get himself as close to the provisional pole sitter as he possibly can. Also, I want to say a big shout out to the XL Formula 1 League. I will be commentating on the OG League after this, guys, so if anybody's interested in watching some action on the F1 game after this, that will be live at 8:30 PM GMT. That will be the XL guys on the track once again. I do try and commentate on them whenever I get the opportunity, and we'll be obviously on that here tonight. But it's currently Nils Barsa, Luck Morato, Rompu got himself up into 3rd place there ahead of Spuz. Ratchi completing the top 5. Rocco's got himself a little bit closer to the top spot, within 1.5 seconds now, so he's chipping away. But it's currently a Ferrari 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. The Ferrari, I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's a jack of all trades. And it's not just a jack of all trades, it's a master of quite a few as well. The Ferrari is a very, very strong car here on ACC around pretty much every single circuit. It really does, it's a very balanced car, quick round the corners, not too shabby down the straights. You can pretty much drive any track and be competitive in the Ferrari. The Lexus quicker on the higher speed tracks like Monza and Silverstone. Around tracks like this, it's not really designed to fare as well. But we see Rocco coming in towards the final corner. What can he do here? What can he put on the board as we're coming towards the end of this qualifying session? He needs to, if he's going to get himself up the top, he needs to do it now. He needs to start getting the laps in. He comes over the line. Rocco does go. It does improve. He gets himself up into P4 there, so provisionally on the 2nd row there, alongside Rompu. Rompu doing an excellent job in the Ferrari at the moment, as we expect from the Ferraris. They are absolutely flying around Brands Hatch tonight. But it's Nils setting the pace, 0.4 of a second is his gap to Luck Morato. So Nils putting another lap there on his previous lap and managed to extend that gap a little bit more. Luck was closing the gap beforehand on the timing boards. We've got a few comments coming in here on the YouTube stream right now. Raceman Motorsport, that's Rompu there, says let's not break the Ferrari engine this time, Rompu. Yep, definitely keep that in check, mate. Just be kind to it, go easy, and you'll be able to get it all the way to the flag. JR says run DJC Racing for the win. Good to have JR in the comments again. Left the Discord server, left Motiv's Discord server earlier today. I don't know if it's just because you've moved to PC, maybe. Could probably be why. I'm not like taking it personally or anything. I think it's probably because he's moved to PC. He just doesn't race on PlayStation anymore, so that's probably why. Lightblade says evening chaps, come on our DJC boys. Obviously Lightblade, one of the senior members of the team run DJC, not able to compete at the moment. His pedals have packed packed it in, so hopefully you can get those replaced as soon as possible, because we miss Lightblade on the track. He always puts on a good show, always excites us here on the stream. And for the drivers on the track who watch it back afterwards, they can always rely on Lightblade putting on some entertainment. And for those who watch live as well, obviously if you're a friend, family member or otherwise associate of any of the drivers out on the track, we hope you are enjoying the action. Let us know who you're supporting, let us know who you're getting behind tonight. And obviously if you want to get involved, if you're watching for the first time, be sure to go to www.motivracing.com, fill in the sign up forms, make sure you join the Discord server, as you won't be eligible to join the championships unless you join the Discord. You must be a member of the Discord server in order to get involved in the championships. But we can see here Luck Morato coming out of the penultimate corner up towards the final corner here of this Brands Hatch GP circuit. We see some blue flags being waved as there's somebody on an outlap just up ahead of him, but Luck Morato's got 0.6 of a second here to find on the provisional pole sitter Nils Barsa. What can he do here? Luck Morato coming up towards the line, and he doesn't improve at the moment, stays in P2 for the time being, but he'll get one more lap in here at the end of this session. Game for Life says, oh my god, this game is so different from the F1 game. Well done, Sherlock. Yep, it's definitely a different kettle of fish, mate. I hope you played this before. Game for Life signed up to the ACC GT3s a few weeks ago, and this week there were a couple of spaces available as a couple of drivers have dropped out of the championship, so we got him into a permanent seat here. And I wasn't aware that he hadn't played this game before, but I mean, I say only he's 6 seconds off the pace. It could be a lot worse. He's got some experience of sim racing, so that's not too bad at all there for him. But at the moment, he's just got a bit of work to do here in this session. But we see Luck Morato at the moment coming to the middle sector of this lap. We've got Rocco just over a second off for the ultimate pace being set by Nils Barsa at this point. Emo Guy's out there at the moment as well in number treble 6 Aston Martin. Everybody else barring Stones and Game for Life is sat in the pits at the moment. As we see, where is Luck Morato at the moment? He's just coming through the final corner of the lap now, and as he backed out of it, looked like he was very slow there coming to the final corner. Yes, he has. Luck is into the pits, so he's not going to gain anything here. So the only drivers out on lap times at the moment are Emo Guy and Stone. Oh, Stones is wide. That's going to put pay to his chances of improving. Game for Life is coming through the final part of the lap now, but I don't think he crossed the line. I think he left the pits on this lap, so he's not going to get a lap in as he's coming to the final corner. Just getting some practice in, maybe getting some running in before we get going for the race, as he's obviously not got too much running here on ACC, so he's coming up towards the line. But what can Emo Guy do here? Can Emo Guy get himself in the top 5? He's currently only 3/10 off of a top 5 spot. He's only about 4/10 off of a top 4. No, he's wide. Emo Guy is very wide there, and that's going to be his session done. So that's going to be that for the session then, ladies and gentlemen, and it is going to be Nils Barsa on pole for round 4 of the GT3s here at Motive, ahead of Luck Morato, who lined up alongside him on the front row. It's going to be Rompu and Rocco on the second row behind them in 3rd and 4th places, followed by Spuzz and Ratchet. Then we're going to have Emo Guy and Scuderia Paul, followed by Raki and SD12 Dash completing the top 10. It's going to be Just Dons ahead of Awesome Gumball, then Yellow Army in 13th place, J Paulotto 14th, followed by Stones, Nilsson and Game for Life will round out the field for the 4th round of the GT3 here at Motive. Lightblade's asking us in the comments there, are there many different camera angles to play with? There's enough, to be honest, mate. So basically you've got all of these are the exterior ones. So you've got helicam, TV cam, secondary TV cam. So there's only 3 exterior cams. On board you've got what's it called? Passenger seat, rear wing. Then you've got another passenger seat view. That one of them is on the dashboard. This one's on the passenger seat. You've got the one that faces the driver. There's another dashboard cam. Oh no, that's the same one. So you've got 5 different cockpit cameras, and then in terms of general cam, you've got the driver cam there. Another one a little bit closer to the steering wheel. That one's inside the helmet. Then you got bonnet cam, bumper cam, chase cam, far chase cam, and yeah, that's really the ones in terms of the camera angles. I do like the heli cam. The only problem with the cameras on this game, and it's always the way unfortunately, is that you can only change the camera on this. You can only change the camera on this setting, so you can't flick between the drivers when you're on this mode, which is a real pain. Because you can't sort of quickly switch between the battles and stuff, so you kind of have to either commit to and focus on one particular section of the track, and then you obviously have to load up the menu each time you change, or you can sort of sacrifice it, keep it to the same camera for the whole race, and just sort of run it on the menu and flick between the drivers quickly using the interface. So it's really you've got to just decide, you've got to just make a decision on which one to go for. Really, it's one or the other. I generally keep it on the interface, and the camera that I use is this one, the secondary TV camera. It's a little bit more panned out. It's a bit more immersive than the helicam. I find the helicam is a little bit detached. You're a little bit out of it and far away, and you're not don't really feel like you're sort of in the action kind of thing. Whereas the other TV cam, it's a little bit removed from the situation as well. It's also, you don't really get to see enough of the action. You don't really get to see enough of an idea of what's going on, because it's too close to it, I find. So this one here, it's like the secondary TV angle, and I find this is ideal. You can see pretty much everybody there, and it's zoomed out enough that you can get an idea of what's going on the track. So this one's definitely my favourite angle in terms of the pros and cons and what it provides here for the action. But here we are then, guys. We're about to go racing here for the 4th round of the GT3. Sorry, here at Motive. Oh god, thinking of round 4 and ended up saying GT4 there. GT3's here, and we're about to go racing here. We've come up towards the line. It's Nils Barser, the championship leader, starting this one on pole position. Can he convert that pole to a win? It's green, green, green. We are racing here at Brands Hatch. Down towards Paddock Hill Bend we come for the first time. Oh no! And somebody's off already there. Oh my goodness me. That was Ratchet who spun off there coming into turn 1. Did he get tagged in the rear a little bit? Nils Barser leads ahead of Marato. There's Rompu in 3rd place. Rocco there getting passed on the inside there by somebody. Was that Emo Guy there getting himself up into 5th place? I think it may have been Emo Guy making a couple of positions there. So he's made a very strong start to this race. You got Scooter Paul there just behind Spuzz at the moment, I think. Yeah, he's just behind Spuzz. Then you've got Raki there just behind them, ahead of just Dons. There's ST12-Awesome Gumball, J Polotto, Yellow Army towards the back with Stones, Nilsson, Ratchet in P16 just ahead of Game for Life. Oh sorry, just ahead of Nilsson there. In fact, he's losing out to Nilsson down the back straight, so he's had a horrible first lap to this race. But Nils Barser leading ahead of Marato at the moment. Rompu all over the back of Marato. Emo Guy up into 4th place. There's Rocco, Spuzz, Scuderia Paul just Dons there ahead of Raki. There's ST12 dashes. Awesome Gumball's got J Polotto looking down his inside, but can't get anything done just at the moment. Stones has got Ratchet breathing down his neck, trying to make gains here after that horror show of a first corner, as he looked like he got the rear end loose coming into Paddock Hill Bend. He's down in 15th place at the moment, having a look to the inside of Stones. Can't get anything done just there, but it's Nils Barser leading out of the final corner here, out onto the start finish straight for the first time here in this race. We see Rompu's got heavy pressure from Emo Guy, who's really 3 has in the back of him, but Rocco looking to try and get around Emo Guy as well. Rocco will be looking to try and make quick progress here in this race. His championship rival currently out the front in this one, as we've got Spuzz there in 6th ahead of Scuderia Paul. Just on, there's Raki ahead of ST12 Dash, Awesome Gumball ahead of J Polotto. Ratchet there making a move down the inside on Nilsson up into 13th place, so Ratchet up another position. Yellow Army's lost out a little bit here as we see Game for Life getting ahead of Stones. In fact, no, Stones has got back at him coming into Paddock Hill Bend there, so Stones getting back up into P16. Game for Life looking to the outside though, coming up towards Druids. Is he going to defend that position there? Game for Life looking around the outside of Stones, but Stones I think is going to fend that one off for now. But Nils currently has got the ascendancy here. Luck's got Rompu absolutely all over him there. As we can see there, Rocco's dropped off at the back of Emo Guy ever so slightly over the course of that half a lap there. You got Scuderia Paul there in 7th place ahead of Just Dan's. Raki there still running in 9th place. Managed to gap ST12 a little bit. As we see J Pilotto's got Ratchet still has in the back of him at this point. But Nils has absolutely broken away at the start. He has left them for dead here in the first lap and a half. Welcome to John Jig in the comments section. Says evening all, welcome along, mate. Good to see you. Regular in our GT4 championship on a Wednesday night is John Jig. Always good to have him. He's always regular in the comments section. As we can see, we've got Rompu really trying to put this pressure on Luck though. Coming down towards the final corner, he's going to defend that inside line. He's not going to allow Rompu any way around him, but Rompu's going to try and get the cutback out of this section of the track. Can he maybe get the run coming down the start finish straight? He's definitely got the toe. He's got that overspeed looking to the outside. Ferrari versus Ferrari. He's not going to have too much of a straight line speed advantage here. And into turn 1, Emo Guy's now going to look to the inside of Rompu's. Rompu's a little bit wide there on the exit of the corner, over the curbs a little bit. Emo Guy's just a little bit too far back to make anything happen there, but Emo Guy probing and pushing and trying to get himself onto the podium spots if he can, as Rompu very wide there coming on the exit of Druids, but nothing doing there for Emo Guy at the moment. Awesome Gumball trying to defend for P10 at this point ahead of Ratchet. You got J Pilotto just ahead of Nilsson there, as J Pilotto wide coming out of Druids, keeping onto that one for now though. But Nils Barca currently out front has got a 3-second gap here over Luck Morato. Luck Morato's got just a bit of a cushion back to Rompu now. That looks like he's reasonably comfortable there in that little exchange there. Spuzz is the last of the lead group of 6. They've gapped Scuderia Paul ever so slightly, but Paul driving a very strong race here so far. Just Don's there running in 8th place ahead of ST12 as we see Awesome Gumball there very wide and just about keeping onto that P10 there ahead of Ratchet. Always very, very wide onto the gravel ever so slightly there, and is Ratchet going to be able to pick him off here? He's going to look down the inside. The corner comes just in time there. Awesome Gumball though struggling at the start of this race. Really does seem to be just a little bit off at this point, as Ratchet now looking down the inside, coming through the penultimate corner up towards Clearways they come, but Awesome Gumball clinging on for dear life here in this battle for P10. Raki says no, got disconnected because Joram started the other PS4. No, Joram, no. Oh, I tell you what, I wouldn't be very surprised if Raki ends up taking out his son and teammate on Friday night. We'll be at Monaco for the F1 League on Friday night. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Raki gets a little bit of revenge for that one. No, in all seriousness, I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but Raki out of the race here. What a shame there on lap 3. Lightblade says Ian's looking tasty tonight. He is indeed, mate. He is absolutely flying at the moment. He's still on the back of Rompu at the moment. He's got Rocco pressuring him as well. He's in the middle of a bit of a battle going on at this point, so Ian's definitely closing on the guys ahead, but he's also got pressure from behind as well. But Nils is broken away at the front. Although, having said that, the gap's not really extending by as much now. It's about 3 seconds between Nils and Luck Morato at this point. You got Rompu still sat in the final podium spot. Ian's just dropped off him a little bit over the course of this lap. He's got Rocco very much close for company at this point ahead of Spuzz, and then Spuzz is like the last of this 6-car or 5-car train battling over P2. You got Scuderia Paul just a little bit off of these guys. Just Don's, oh no, Just Don's has crashed. Just Don's into the barriers there, coming to the middle sector. That's going to give SD12 Dash and Awesome Gumball the position, and also Ratchet following him through, but Just Don's there just getting it together again in front of J Pilotto, and that is Nilsson there just behind them. So Just Don's having a nightmare. He's down to 12th place here in this race, and he's going to have a bit of damage on the front of that car. Pit window doesn't open for another 20 minutes yet, so it's going to be a little while until we see that. But Raki there says, luckily for Joram, he's the eldest. So Joram wasn't the one who started up the PlayStation there and caused Raki to get disconnected. So Joram's out of the woods, but I'm sure that Raki's going to be absolutely fuming with that one. Lightblade said, Ian, oh yeah, we already said that. We already saw that. Ian doing a very good job, as we said, but he's lost out to Rocco though. Rocco's up into 4th place. Ian's lost out of position, but he's still in a decent position right now. Definitely not out of the fight up the front. These two got a bit of a gap back to Scooter Airport at this point. ST12 has got Ratchet now breathing down his neck. Ratchet making quick progress through the pack after the first lap skirmish when we saw coming in towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. We see Ratchet looking around the outside here of ST12 coming down to the end of the back straight, but ST12 currently got that just about in hand as now he's covering a very late move there to the inside. Ratchet now looking to the outside, but ST12 covering that inside line. Very, very fine margins there between the two of them as Ratchet still looking, probing and trying to find a way through. He's looking left, he's looking right, and ST12 making some very excessive defensive moves here. Now Ratchet's going to look around the outside of the penultimate corner, and in the end ST12 just thinks better of defending that one, and Ratchet all over the grass there. We see Awesome Gumball there trying to make the move around the outside of ST12 coming down towards Clearways, and he's going to get that done. Awesome Gumball following him through up into 9th place here, so ST12 losing a couple of positions in the space of literally 2 corners there. Not gone to plan very much for him as he's now looking to try and get back ahead of Awesome Gumball coming down towards Paddock Hill, but Awesome Gumball's got that in hand. But Ratchet now in some clean air. What can he do? He's only around 15, 16, 17 seconds maybe off of the lead at this point, so sky's the limit for Ratchet. He's just got to push and hope that something happens to the leaders up ahead of him. As we see Rompu really close on the back of Luck Morato here. Rocco on the back of these guys as well. These three separated by about half a second. They've gapped Emo Guy ever so slightly over the last couple of laps. But at this point we can see Rocco just waiting in the wings, hoping that these two might trip over each other. They're losing time all the time to the race leader though, Niels Barser, who's now got almost a 6-second lead whilst these three battle it out. And Rompu there all over that curb, really rattling those curbs on the exit of that corner, but Rocco just waiting and watching and hoping that he might be able to deliver a knockout blow to these two if they run into each other or slow each other down in any way, shape or form. Emo Guy has closed a little bit on these guys over the course of this lap, and we can see there Rompu has got a little bit deep there coming through the second penultimate corner, and that's going to allow Rocco down the outside there, and Rocco now up into the final podium spot can now try and chase down Luck Morato. So Rompu just making a small mistake. That's all that Rocco needed to get himself into the podium spot. So now Emo Guy will be tasting a little, tasting a possibility of getting himself into those podium spots if he can. Scooter Paul's got Ratchet looking down his inside in towards Paddock Hill, and a great little feint to the inside there from Ratchet. Almost came off. I thought for a moment he was going to go for that, but Scooter Paul a little bit wide on the exit of Paddock Hill, down towards Drew as they come. Ratchet's going to send one down the inside. No, thinks better of it. Thought he was going to go for that one, but in the end just thought maybe not at this stage in the race, not really worth screwing my race up just for that extra position there. But Scooter Paul clinging on by the skin of his teeth to that P6 there ahead of Ratchet. Ratchet's on a warpath in this race after that first lap nightmare that we saw coming into Paddock Hill. Niels Barser continuing to open up a gap to these guys. Luck Morato, Rocco, Rompu, Emo Guy, currently a 4-car train here battling out over second place here in this race as we see Rompu really tagging the grass. You can see that Aston Martin of Emo Guy looming ever larger in his mirrors, and that will be playing on his mind now. That will be definitely affecting the way that he's driving at this point. Luck Morato still just ahead of Rocco, but Rocco hunting him down as you can see his championship rival riding off into the sunset out the front. Niels currently with a 6-second gap. Luck and Rocco currently just under a second apart here in second and third places. You've got Rompu there ahead of Emo Guy, and they have well and truly now put daylight between themselves and Scooter Paul, as Paul has now got Ratchet looking to his inside here coming down towards the final corner. Ratchet thinks better of that one. Is he going to go for the cutback here? If he can get a good run coming out to the start finish straight, he'll have a great chance of clearing Paul here. Paul's going to look to the outside to try and he's not really going to defend his position here. Ratchet's going to look down the inside in towards Paddock Hill, and that's going to be routine stuff there for Ratchet. The Bentley making the move on the AMG, the car that Paul drove last season, the Bentley making a move down the inside of him, and Ratchet up into P6 there can now try and chase down the leaders if he can. After that horrible first lap, it's been a really strong recovery from Ratchet. Fair play to him. He's got his head down and he's got on with it here. Rocco currently a second off at the back of Luck Morato at this point, has got half a second back to Rompu at this point. There's Emo Guy a second behind them in 5th place at the moment. Niels just over 6 seconds in the lead of this race though at this stage in the race. There's Luck though running in P2 just under 7 seconds off for the lead. There's Rocco there in third ahead of Rompu. And Emo Guy still going there in 5th place at this point. Oh, we see Awesome Gumball there making a big mistake there as he got onto the grass ever so slightly coming to that middle sector. So Awesome Gumball having an absolute horror show in that little moment there. J Pilotto running in 10th has got Yellow Army breathing down his neck as well. Only 0.2 of a second separating these two. Raki says Nils is giving driving lessons again. No, he's not. He's left his client, and his client's now somewhere in his pack. We don't know who he is or how much he's paying Nils, but Nils certainly has left him for dead here. We've got Rompu is gentle with his engine. Will he get 2nd place? Who knows at this point? I mean, he's in the thick of it. We see Emo Guy's dropped off at the back of these guys a little bit now. It's now a 3-car battle for 2nd place. In fact, really, Luck has gapped Roku and Rompu ever so slightly as well, to be fair. Yellow Army still within touching distance of J Pilotto at the moment. These two have closed in ever so slightly on Awesome Gumball at this point. Oh, as we see in the background, J Pilotto getting wide there coming out of Druids, keeping it together just about, but that was a close call there for the number 14 Porsche. As in the meantime, we've got Rompu still very close on the back of Rocco. Rocco hasn't really made too many inroads on Luck. Luck Morato, though, starting to match Nils Barca a little bit. The gap staying at around 7 seconds, so it's not really going up, it's not really going down. It's kind of just staying the same between the top two. Maybe Rocco and Rompu both have the pace to win this race as well. Rocco, though, doing an excellent job there in the Lexus, to be fair. I wouldn't have thought it would be the best car around this circuit, but he's absolutely wringing the neck of it at the moment. We're 13 minutes into this race here at Brands Hatch for the 4th round of the GT3s here at Motive on ACC on the PlayStation 4 and 5. It's currently Nils leading the race, but on that last lap there, Luck did actually take about half a second out of him, so it looks as though Luck's now starting to maybe bring that gap down ever so slightly. We've got Rocco there in 3rd place ahead of Rompu. There's Emo Guy in 5th place, then a further 8 seconds back to Ratchet, who's cleared the pack after his big mistake coming through Paddock on the first lap. He's now up 3 seconds ahead of Scooter Red Bull running in 7th place. You've got SD12 there in 8th, just coming up towards Druids. There's Awesome Gumball coming into Paddock Hill. J Pilotto's trying to defend from Yellow Army here. Yellow Army all over him though, as he's now going to try and get the run up towards Druids. Can he send one down the inside? He's going to have a look here. Well, Yellow Army's going to commit one, but he's going to go deep into the corner. Does he get it stopped in order to keep the position? No. J Pilotto gets the cutback there, and Yellow Army's going to have to do that one all over again. Unfortunately there for him. These guys a couple of seconds ahead of Nilsson at the moment. Stone's there running in 13th ahead of just Dons, a couple of seconds further back. Game for Life in P15 and Spuzz rounding out the pack at the moment after that very, very sketchy start to the race. Not where Spuzz would want to be at all. Not where we're used to seeing him, that is for sure. But something's happened to the race leader here, because Nils Barca, he was leading by about 6.5 seconds. The gap's now down to 4 seconds here, so I don't know what's happened to Nils Barca, but the race leader's had a bit of a moment. He doesn't appear to have damage at this point, but that could be debilitating for his race here. That could really serve to mess his race up, as he's now only got 2.7 seconds back to Luck Morato. Is he starting to have problems here? Maybe losing a bit of concentration. He's been out there on his own for some time now. Luck, Rocco, Rompu all very much closing that gap. Emo Guy's dropping off at the back of that battle for 2nd place though. He seems to have dropped a bit of pace over the last couple of laps. Don't know if he made a mistake or something, but that gap between Nils and then Luck, Rocco and Rompu is really coming down at quite a rate, as Rompu all over Rocco there coming in towards Sheens. Can he get the run out onto the back straight? Always going to have to take a tight line there, which would have definitely just inhibited his ability to get that run out of the corner. They're still side by side, and it looks as though Rompu's still got that run. He wouldn't have got the run that he would have wanted to, because Rocco was on the outside there, so he couldn't get as wide of an exit as possible, and that would have affected his traction out the corner. As we see Rocco very wide there onto the grass, keeps it together. That was close, but he's all wide for the next corner, and that's to be expected really. The car would have been wobbling all over the place. That suspension would have been left, right and centre, and Rocco loses out to Rompu, so Rompu up into the final podium spot, but that's given Luck Morato just a little bit of breathing space there in 2nd place now, as Nils has got just the gap of just under 3 seconds here to Luck Morato. Chris Bitsock in the comments saying good luck DJC boys. They're currently doing a good job at the moment. Chris, Nils leading the race, but Rompu, Emo Guy and Ratchet all doing a very solid job at the moment. Also SD12 running in 8th place, so the DJC boys doing solid at the moment. but Niels Barca currently chomping them all, and Luck Morato's got a couple of seconds back to Rompu and Rocco at this point. Emo Guy's closed in a little bit on Rocco, obviously with Rocco running wide on that previous lap. Got 50 people watching the stream at the moment, guys. If you like what you see, then please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the Motive Racing YouTube channel if you're watching us for the first time. If you want to get involved in the on-track action, go to www.motiveracing.com, get yourselves into the Discord server and sign up to the championships. We've got plenty on offer. Couple of spots left in this GT3 championship as well, and the GT3 Sprint Cup on a Saturday night has got lots of spaces, so if you fancy racing on Saturday nights 7 PM GMT, then definitely come over to the Discord server, put your names down. We've also got spots for the Porsche Super Cup on Friday night, lots of spots for the Porsche Super Cup. We're very much looking to try and fill those up if we can, and the GT4s on Wednesday currently full, definitely the most popular league by a long way, followed quite closely by this one. But the GT4s are currently full, but we're obviously accepting reserve drivers, and hey, if we get enough overflow, then there's no reason why we can't set up a second tier mid-season. We've got a mid-season break coming up in a couple of weeks, so you know, if you fancy racing, put your name down, we'll do the rest. But at this point anyway, Niels Barca is currently still leading the race, and he's managed to just reinstate that gap a little bit to Luck Morato, and it's now 4 seconds between himself and Luck. Luck's got half a second back to Rompu, so Rompu's still putting the pressure on him since getting ahead of Rocco a few laps ago. Rocco's dropped off with his paddle a little bit. Emo Guy keeping the gap at around 2.5 seconds to Rocco at this point. Ratchy continuing to rule them in very slightly here in this race. Ratchy about 15 seconds off of the leader, Niels Barca, so Ratchy actually matching the pace, possibly running a little bit quicker than the race leader at this point. It's been an absolutely brilliant recovery drive from Ratched since his spin on the first lap coming into the first corner. We see SD12 starting to reel in. Scuderia Paul looks like it's just under a second between those two at the moment. Yellow Army still hassling the back of Awesome Gumball here for 9th and 10th. You've got J Palotto just behind ahead of Nilsson, so this is a 4-car battle now for 9th place developing here coming into Druid's corner. And Nilsson will be looking to try and get himself into the top 10 if he can. Nilsson driving a good race so far, keeping to the back of these guys. J Palotto very wide there, coming on the exit of Druid's corner there. But currently Rompu's still very close to the back of Luck Morato. We're going to also keep half an eye on this battle here between Scuderia Paul and SD12. SD12 now breathing down his neck. Scuderia Paul had a strong start to this race, but SD12 flashing his lights there, getting a little bit cocky behind him, and I'm sure that Paul's not going to appreciate that too much. SD12 maybe just getting a little bit I don't know, I don't really like it. It's a bit cheeky when people flash the lights. I'm not a massive fan of it, I've got to say. He obviously feels that he's quicker and he feels like he's entitled to that position, but you know, if you can't get it on the track, if you can't overtake him fair and square, then ultimately I don't think you deserve the position. But anyway, they're coming out of the last corner and over the line they come to complete their 13th lap of the race. SD12 still trying to find a way through ahead of Scuderia Paul at the moment, but Paul's doing everything right here. Paul's teammate Evan couldn't make tonight. Unfortunately, Evan not able to make a load of the races at the moment, as he's moving house and he's having to spend a lot of time away from the PlayStation, so he's not always able to be on. But Evan, if you're watching, hopefully you're enjoying the action. Hopefully you're rooting for your teammate here, Scuderia Paul. He's doing an excellent job at the moment. SD12 though really trying to bully him a little bit, but Paul not having any of it so far, so fair play to him. He's holding firm and not being phased. Niels Barca's got a 4-second gap at the moment over Luck Morato in second place. You've got Rompu there, third a couple of seconds behind, 6 seconds off for the race lead. And Emo Guy, what's happened to Emo Guy? Oh no, Emo Guy's pulled off to the side of the road. Emo Guy on the gravel there, he's not going anywhere fast and he's retired from the session. Oh no, what a shame there for Emo Guy. He was running in a good position there. He's in P4 in the race and he's now out of the race here on lap 14. I don't know if he ran out of fuel or something, but Emo Guy done for the race. Bunyip Adventures, welcome along, commenting in the YouTube comment section there. Bunyip Adventures used to race in the Clio Cup, Motive and Project Cars 2. Tier 2 was I think a championship contender in Tier 2 for the Clio Cup, and then he had to leave mid-season as he had some, I think he had to go to, was it Kazakhstan, was it? Can't remember, I know it was somewhere. But Raki says keep calm Scuderia Paul, but be quick. Yeah, don't take it too easy. But Luck Morato there putting a lap on somebody there, as we see Evil Scotsman, otherwise known as Emo Guy, saying my wheel disconnected again and went into the wall at over 130 miles an hour. Well, I hope that your wheel's okay, and I hope that the car is repairable there, mate. That's obviously a massive shame there for yourself. So what a shame there for Emo Guy, as we're currently watching Luck Morato here running in second place, just under 5 seconds now behind the race leader. Oh, Rompu there putting a lap on Game for Life, as Game for Life does move aside for him. Binary Prevention says back to work in Kazakhstan. Fair play, mate. Fair play. You definitely get around, don't you? But yeah, Binary Preventures, yeah, used to race in the Clegg Cup and Project Cars 2. Obviously we stopped doing Project Cars 2 this season, as we it just a couple of reasons really. I mean, the first one being that the game's sort of slowly dying out, but especially on PlayStation. It's still pretty big on PC, but PlayStation is definitely starting to lose a bit of interest. But also the fact of we just didn't have enough coordinators to run it. Obviously on Project Cars you can't just set up a server and put it on a timer. You actually have to be there setting up the lobbies and running everything. It's just a bit more stress than it's worth, honestly. You know, I'd be more than happy to run Project Cars 2 Leagues. If somebody wanted to be the coordinator and wanted to put it together, I'd be more than happy to rock up and commentate. But just putting it all together, for me, I find that it's giving me too many grey hairs, honestly. Way too many grey hairs. Awesome Gumball says I've got to go. Alright, mate, fair enough. I mean, that's a shame to lose you. We're only 23 minutes into the race, but alright. Oh, that's alright, okay. Alright, see you later then. Bunny Virtue says also racing on PC now. Yeah, I was thinking we've got to move to PC at some point. Emo Guy does the comments with me, and I spoke to him the other day about the potential of, because he's on PC, and we're talking about the potential of him sharing his screen with me on PC, and then I could stream the races on my PC, because my PC's not good enough to run ACC in good enough graphics. But if he was able to stream his end of ACC to me on Discord or something, then I figured that it would be possible for us to stream the races on PC. So potentially you could watch this space, because we could be seeing some PC leagues on ACC here in Motive. I don't know if you're on ACC or Project to Cars or whatever it is, Bunny Adventures, but I'm definitely looking to try and get us on the PC ASAP. Also PS5, obviously ACC, the update for PS5 coming out soon, so we'll probably have separate leagues for the PS4 and the PS5, so we'll have lots and lots of leagues coming soon. And then hopefully in a year or so's time, once the PS4 users start to get PS5s, we'll be integrating those communities between the PS4 and the PS5, and we'll have, you know, hopefully multiple tiers on PS5. That's the long-term plan anyway, that's the aim, so we'll have to see how it works out. We got John Jig there, says drivers dropping like flies. Yeah, I don't really know what it is about, to be honest, mate. We started off with 17, we're down to 13, 4 drivers already pulling out of the race. Emo Guy, obviously we know about the wheel disconnecting, Raki disconnecting. To be fair, they're all actually pretty explainable. Like Raki disconnected, Emo Guy crashed out, Awesome Gumball had to go, we don't know why. But yeah, a couple of those very legitimate, but yeah, not really sure about the other ones. But currently we've got Luck Morato still running in P2 ahead of Rompu. These guys 5 seconds behind the race leader Nils at this point. You got Rocco there in 4th place, Ratchet there running in 5th place, 13 seconds behind Rocco. Just coming over the start finish line now to start lap 18. You got Scuderia Paul as got ST12 just behind him. These guys just coming around to put a lap on somebody just up ahead of them there. That would appear to be Stones there, just coming through Paddock Hill Bend. Bunny for Venture says mainly ACC with some iRacing for me, bud. iRacing, oh yeah, we've got to get on iRacing as well. I'd love to get on iRacing. Never played it actually, but to be fair, it's quite expensive. But I'd love to get onto iRacing at some point. Definitely something we're looking to implement. As we see Stones there moving aside, ST12 behind Scuderia Paul, those guys putting a lap on him. But yeah, I'd love to get on the PC at some point, and I would be able to run iRacing no problem on my PC. My PC is pretty decent, to be fair. It was about 8 or 9 years ago, this PC was the absolute, you know, it was the dog's bollocks, but it's not able to run games like ACC, but it can run games like iRacing no problem. So Could definitely stream some iRacing at some point if we got some leagues together. As we see Nilsson in the pits at the opening of the pit window, so he's coming in and getting it done out of the way as soon as possible. Rompu's still on the back of Murato here. These two battling it out over second and third places. It's been like this for some time now. Scooter Red Bull still keeping ST12 behind him as well, 0.2 of a second currently separating those two. Pit window might shake it up a little bit and spread these guys out in their battles out on track. Oh, as we see Luck there and Rompu, to be fair, both of them running ever so wide there out of Sheens. Keeping it on the track though for the time being. We see Nilsson's made that pit stop. He's got that little green box next to his name, which indicates that he's got his pit stop done. It's out of the way and he can now resume. That was a hiccup, and continue on his way. Luck Murato running in second place still, 0.3 of a second ahead of Rompu at this point. So who's going to come in and get the pit stop done quickly? Who's going to long it out and wait and try and get the overcut? Race leader Nils Barca coming through the final corner. He's staying out for the time being. What about Luck and Rompu? Do they pull the trigger? These guys not too far off of the race leader, and Luck's coming in. So Luck Murato coming in and pulling the trigger and getting his pit stop done. Is he going to try and go the whole race on one set of tyres? The track temperature not too high here, 26 degrees. Air temperature in 21 degrees. So it could potentially be an opportunity here to try and go the full distance on one set of tyres. If he does, he'll probably end up getting the jump on Nils if Nils were to pit for tyres. So fine margins at the moment. What does Luck Murato do in terms of the strategy? He's only 5 seconds behind the race leader Nils as of when he came into the pits, so this could be race on here. And Rompu also very much in the thick of that battle. Rocco about 10 seconds off for the leader at the moment. Obviously the championship battle pretty tight between Nils and Rocco. Those two, 1 and 2, they've been pretty close in all the races so far. Gap 6 points in the championship in the favour of Nils Barca coming into this round, but Rocco knows he needs to really get a good result or minimise the damage, as this track is certainly not a track for the Lexus. But we see Luck there currently in the box, and he's off and away now, so he's done that pit stop, as has Spuzz. In fact, no, Spuzz is doing his pit stop, so that means that now Luck, Nilsson and Game for Life have all done their pit stops, and Spuzz is currently in the process of doing his. All the other 9 drivers still yet to come in and get their pit stops done, but we're not even halfway through the pit window yet, so that will obviously come about as of over the next couple of minutes, as we see Nils Barca staying out for one more lap here. I imagine it's one more lap. He usually comes in at the midway point of the pit window, so I reckon he's probably going to come in on the next lap, as that will be bang in the middle of the pit window there for him. So Nils currently just staying out for the time being. Rompu doing the same. Wonder if he's going to pit in the middle of the pit window as well. Rocco staying out as well, doing a similar strategy there to these boys. What about Ratchet? Does he come in? He's got 11 seconds back to Scooter Red Bull. That just behind him is Game for Life. Game for Life sticking with him at the moment, as we see Ratchet is coming into the pits. So Ratchet is going to box. He's currently 20 seconds off for the race lead. He must have had a bit of a moment, because he's a little bit further off for the race lead than Nils than we saw the last time. He's lost about 5-6 seconds since we last looked at him, so I don't know if he had a bit of an excursion, but Ratchet is in nonetheless. Scooter pull up into 4th. There's ST12. Those two staying out for the time being. What's Yellow Army doing? He's just in fact, he's just still keeping Luck Murato behind him right now. But Luck Murato has obviously made his pit stop, so I imagine that he'll be wanting to get ahead of Yellow Army as soon as he can. Yellow Army just holding him up really here, to be honest with you. Yellow Army dives into the pits. He's making his pit stop now at the end of lap 20. And Luck Murato continues on his way. He's going to try and get the undercut on this man here, Nils Barca, if he can. So Ratchet, Yellow Army both into the end of lap 20. Nils Barca coming round towards the end of lap 21. Does the race leader come in this time around? No, he's staying out. So he's staying out for the time being. Is Rompu going to come in and try and get the undercut here on Nils Barca? No, Rompu's staying out as well here. Very interesting stuff there. Ratchet emerges from the pits. He's about 20 seconds behind Luck Murato. But interesting to see that Nils and Rompu staying out. Rocco's in, so Rocco coming into the pits. He's still in contention for a podium, still certainly not out of the battle for the top 3 here in this race. Depends what he can do during this pit window and in the final stint of the race. But Nils Barca currently out in front at this point and has got a reasonable advantage here over Rompu. Rompu looks like he might have dropped off a little bit over the course of this lap so far. You see Rocco and ST12 Dash both in the pits at this point. as just Dawn's currently sat in the pit box at this particular moment in time. Nils though currently a leader, and 22 laps into this race, looking good at the moment. Nils Barca has taken 2 out of 3 so far this season. Could he be on for his 3rd win out of 4 races? It would be a dominant start to the season for him. Hasn't been off the podium so far this season. His only non-win was a 3rd place at Monza for the 2nd round of the season, taking wins in round 1 and 3 at Spa and Silverstone. So Nils Barca currently in cruise control at the moment, but that could all change with Morato having already been in. What's he been able to do over the course of this pit window? Can he get that undercut? Can he close that gap? These questions will be answered over the next few minutes, but Nils Barca staying out for the time being. Rompu into the pits. I think Nils is going to long it as long as he can. He could even go 1 more lap after this here. He would be cutting it fine, but he could certainly go 1 more lap during this pit window before he comes in. Scooter Paul also still yet to pit. Does he come in this lap, or does he wait 1 more lap before making his pit stop? As here he comes in towards the final corner now, and Scooter Paul is coming in, so he slows it down onto the pit limiter. Scooter Paul brings that number 24 AMG into the pits. Nils still out there at the moment, still controlling this race. Rompu there in the pits. Scooter Paul stopping into the box there. Now where is Morato? Does he come out ahead of Rompu? Rompu's already on the exit of the pits here, so I think that Rompu's got the jump on Morato there. So Rompu has played an absolute blinder there in the pit stops. He's now a little way ahead of Morato. The gap around 5-6 seconds it seems between those two. I wonder if Rompu's opted not to change tyres here, as the tyre wear shouldn't be too bad with the track temperature being reasonably cool. So Rompu maybe rolling the dice a little bit. Can he get the jump on the race leader Nils? That's a big question that may be answered over the course of the next few minutes. Nils Barca, the race leader, into the pits now. So Scooter Paul is off and on his way. Stone's currently sat in the box. The last of the drivers alongside Nils Barca still to make their pit stop. So those guys, the last here in the box. And whereabouts is Rompu and Morato? Rompu coming through the middle sector of this Brands Hatch GP circuit at the moment. Stone's currently in the pits at this point, but Rompu's got a few corners left to go here on this lap that he's currently on. Morato there 5 seconds behind him in 3rd place, occupying that final podium spot at this particular point. Nils Barca though in the box, race leader, still yet to move. Rompu there coming, Rompu ever so wide there coming to the penultimate corner. That could have cost him a little bit of time there. Nils is still in the box though, as we just see him moving now. Stones is also on his way. Rompu coming through the final corner. This is going to be close, but I think Rompu could be about to take the lead here. This is going to be oh so close here between these two, and Rompu coming into paddock hill. Oh no! Oh, Rompu and Nils Barca coming together, and Rompu spins off, coming onto the gravel there into paddock hill bend. Looked like there was a little bit of contact there between the two of them. Morato's going to seize on that and moves himself up into P2 there. Oh, what a shame there for Rompu. He looked like he'd got that move done around the outside. That could be controversial there. It looked like Nils just tagged the rear of him, or did he? Maybe Rompu lost it by himself as he went round the outside. I don't know. We're going to have to look at the replay of that, as good, or as Woody says, good A in the comments. Wow. Wow. Let's have a look at that again. I'm just watching that on the replay on my phone. So Rompu gets around the outside. I think he loses it by himself. I don't know. It's a difficult one to call. Oh, that is a difficult one to call. I don't know. It looks like maybe there was a bit of contact, but the question is, should Rompu have given Nils more space on the inside? Oh, I tell you what, I'm going to get that up. I'm going to get that up now on the stream, and I'll let you guys be the judges. Oh, a controversy here. I tell you what, plenty of controversy. Well. But regardless, anyway, Nils Barca's got a bit of a gap here, and Rompu down to P3 there behind Morato, so that could really hurt his race quite severely. So he was in a really good position before that, but that has now gone down the pan. So that's currently, in fact, Nils has given the position back. Nils has relinquished a position there, so Nils has dropped down to 3rd place. He's let Luck and Rompu go, so I wonder if Nils is taking responsibility there. Maybe knew that he might be hit with a penalty from the stewards if he didn't, so he has given the place back there to Rompu. So a fair play, obviously very sportsmanlike there from Nils Barca. He's given it back to Rompu. And well, hopefully there was a need for him to, because it'd be a shame if he's let him past when there was no actual need for him to. But maybe he knows something we don't, and maybe he feels like that was his responsibility there. But nonetheless, we're going to just quickly get up a replay of that one. If we can. So yeah, we've just got that up ready. In a sec. So yeah, we're going to get this up now. So just going to a quick replay there. So that's Nils in the pits as he was just getting going, and then there he is off the limiter. Rompu there coming out of the last corner and up towards Paddock Bend. So Rompu was obviously had the momentum coming down the start finish straight. Nils coming out of the pits there, and you see there's a little bit of contact there as they come into the corner. Not much, but enough to send Rompu round, and Nils obviously felt at fault for that one. Let's watch it one more time there. So there you see Nils coming out of the pits, and there is the moment of contact just there, and that was all it took for Rompu to go round. So what a shame there, obviously, but Nils has relinquished a position, and now we have got a 3-car fight for the lead. This is incredible stuff. Back to live mode here, back to the live pictures. This is absolutely incredible stuff here. This one's going to go down to the wire between these guys, I reckon. Raki says no, Stewart's going to be busy tonight. John Jig reckons it's a bit harsh. Above all, Lujic said racing incident. John Jig reckons no, he says two just went off then. That was I think it was Nils giving the position back, surely. I didn't see. I was actually I was siphoning through the replays, so I didn't actually get a chance to see. But Luck's now got a 1 second gap anyway over Rompu, and Nils Barca down to the final podium spot, trying to get himself back up into P2 if he can. He's now looking down the inside of Rompu here, coming down to the end of the back straight. Can Nils get himself back up into P2 here? Can't get it done just there at the moment. Raki says unfortunate, but gentleman behaviour for giving the position back. Definitely fair play. Full marks to Nils for that one. And obviously, I can't imagine he'll be losing any. I can't imagine there will be any in Stewart's inquiries, considering he gave the position back. I don't think there's going to be any problems there for him. But he's got his work cut out now to get himself back up into that P1. As now Luck Morato starting to gap both of these. So Luck Morato seizing on the woes of the other two. I'm currently looking very much in the box seat here in this race, with just 20 minutes left to go into the final third here at Brands Hatch for the 4th round of the GT3s here at Motive on ACC here on the PlayStation 4 and 5. And what a night it's been from these drivers. Absolutely great stuff here on the channel. 11 people watching at the moment. Guys, please hit the like button if you can. Let's get this video to 10 likes before we get off air. It would mean the absolute world to us if we can get it to 10 likes. But story of the race so far, Nils led the race all the way up into the pit window, a 5 second gap over Rompu and Luck Morato, who were battling out over second place. Pit window rolled around, Rompu got the jump on Luck Morato, almost got ahead of Nils. In fact, they came down the start finish straight side by side into Paddock Hill Bend. Nils was just behind Rompu. Rompu was on the outside, and Nils just tagged the back of Rompu as they came into the corner, sent Rompu round, and Nils, very sportsmanlike, gave the position back, but that allowed Luck to jump both of them up into the lead of the race. And since then, Luck Morato has pulled out a bit of a gap. He's now got almost 2 seconds here over these two, battling out over second place. As we see here, Nils Barca now looking to the outside of Rompu, coming down towards the final corner. Rompu just covering that inside line off for the time being. Raki says, is it Game for Life's debut? I believe it is his ACC debut, yeah. Yeah, it's his first ever race on ACC. Obviously, veteran now of the F1 League. Raced with us for 3 seasons on a Codemasters Formula 1 game. But oh, sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to just inflict that blue screen upon you. But yeah, Murato currently in a great position here to take his first win here in the GT3s at Motive. I'm sure he'll be pretty chuffed with that if he can bring this one home. He's now got almost a 3-second gap here over these two, as they're now just about to put a lap here on Game for Life. We see the Lamborghini there in the foreground. Hopefully you'll see them coming, as they are battling it out for position for P2 here in this race at the moment, as we now see Nils looking all over the back of Rompu, coming down towards the back straight, but Rompu has just about got enough in hand at the moment. Oh, Nils wide though, very, very wide. Rompu also, I tell you what, this is close here. Game for Life moving well out of the way there for those guys, as we can see Nils looking down the inside. Oh, he's going to try on the outside here of Rompu, just tagged him in the back a little bit there, living dangerously at the moment. Nils Barter can see his wind slipping away as Murato is now running off into the distance there, coming through the final corner. These two though still going at it now in towards the final corner. Can Nils get the cut back here on Rompu? If he can get the switch back coming out onto the start finish, he might have a chance coming into Paddock Hill, but Rompu gets good traction out of the last corner, and for the time being looks like Rompu still got just enough as they're coming into the section of the track where they had that collision coming out of the pits a few laps ago. And now Nils has got a great run here coming out of Paddock Hill Bend. He's going to look to the inside here into towards Druids. Does Rompu leaves a minimal cars width on the inside and just a bit of a tap there between the two of them. But Nils Barter muscles his way through there up into second place. Rompu flashed the lights. He's not happy with that. I think it was hard racing. I think it was fair racing. We'll have to obviously check the replay on that one. We'll have to see if Rompu puts in a steward's inquiry on that one. Personally, I think that was hard but fair. I think that Nils was a little bit aggressive, but I don't think there's anything doing there. I think that was fair from Nils Barter personally. I think that he sent one and it was a bit aggressive, but for me I think that's just about within the limits there. Let us know what you think in the comments though, guys. Let us know what your take on that one was, as we are going to get a replay up of that one in a moment's time. But yeah, for me, I don't think there's anything doing on that one. I think that's hard but fair racing between the two of them. They're still battling it out. We're going to go to a quick replay here. So here it is, them coming up into Druids just half a lap ago. There it is, as Nils sent one down the inside. Rompu tried to close the door, tried to leave him a minimum cars width on the inside, but to me I think that's fair enough. But back to live mode anyway, so currently still Nils now just ahead of Rompu trying to come back at him though, but these guys now are almost 6 seconds behind the race leader Murato, so it's looking very much like Murato's got this one in hand. Can Nils try and chase him down in these final few laps? He's got to still shake off the battle of Rompu at the moment. Rocco not too far behind these guys as well. He's only 3 seconds behind in 4th place, so could Rocco be on for a potential podium spot here? He's doing a good job in the number 89 Lexus, and we said before, damage invitation for Rocco. He'll be pleased to see that Nils isn't leading the race, because he's obviously in a championship battle with Nils. Those two pretty close in the point standings, and he'll be wanting to make sure that Nils scores the minimum amount of points possible and gains the minimum amount of points on him over the course of this round. But luck looking like he's going to be taking his first win here at Motive as it stands. What a drive it's been from Murato, but Nils already closing that gap since getting ahead of Rompu. That gap's coming down, it's already under 5 seconds here, so Murato's got to keep his head, keep cool and calm, and stay composed and not mess up in the final part of this race. But what a race it has been so far here. Raki says it would have been nice if Nils hit the apex. He overshot, but Rompu should have closed the door a bit more. Yep, Nils did miss the corner a little bit. I think the understeer I think also it was the fact that he had such a tight radius, because Rompu did narrow the gap a little bit. Nils didn't really have much space to work with, so he had very little space to actually get the car turned in, if it makes sense. He didn't really get enough of a run at the corner, so I think that was why he ended up running a bit wide of the apex. He just had very little wriggle room, but for me I think that's fair enough. I think, yeah, I wouldn't even call it a racing incident, to be fair. Raki says racing incident. I wouldn't even go that far. I would say it's just hard racing, bit of rubbings racing. You know, people say that racing is a non-contact sport, and obviously, you know, that's got to be the ethos of it, because if you went into it thinking of it as a contact sport, then obviously that's dangerous for drivers and for marshals and for spectators alike. But in terms of there's going to be contact, isn't there? You know, ultimately you can't expect it to always be clean as a whistle, and these things do happen. There's John Duke there, +1 in the comments. I don't know if you're agreeing with me there, mate, but fair play. Nice Dutch move, says there's Bovel Lujic. I meant hard racing. Yeah, no, Raki, I know what you mean. I think we're on the same wavelength, to be fair. I think we both see it in the same sort of picture. But right now, anyway, Nils Barsa's really closing the gap to Luck Morato. The gap's now down to 4 seconds between those two, as we see Nils a little bit wide there, coming on the exit of Paddock Hill. He's managed to gap Rompu by a little bit now, almost 2 seconds separating those two at this point. As we're looking down the order, Ratchid there in P5 has got just under 10 seconds right now, back to SD12 Dash. Scooter Paul further 20 seconds behind them in 7th place. The Yellow Army's still going. He's just behind that pink Ferrari there of Just Dawns, who he's about to put a lap on. There's Nilsson. Spuzz there still going in P10, coming through Paddock Hill. Big shout out to the 13 drivers on the track, all of these guys who are still sticking with us here. A big thank you. You guys are legends. Thanks for sticking it out, not giving up, not throwing in the towel, and keeping pushing all the way to the end. And obviously they'll get good points to show for it. John Jig says Nils overshooting and Rompu not closing the door earlier, not a racing incident at all. I think what Raki just meant that it was hard racing. That's what it was. I know exactly what he meant with it, but anyway, it looks like Relux pulled out a bit of a gap here to Nils over the course of this lap. 4.6 now the gap between these two, so Lux started to respond a little bit, or maybe Nils made a mistake. We were watching him on the stream. Some of you guys may have seen. I was looking down at the computer for most of that lap, so I didn't see if Nils made a mistake. Some of you will have seen and will know exactly what happened, but I myself didn't catch that. I was looking down at the screen, but we were following him on the stream. There's Nils there putting a lap on Stones by the looks of it. But Lux currently got a gap, and at the moment, look, he's sitting pretty. But Nils has got the pace over him at this point. Has he got enough time? Is there enough laps left in this race for Nils Barsa to come back at him? As we've got Rompu still running in the final podium spot, but Rocco is breathing down his neck. And Rocco will be wanting to minimise the points gained by Nils Barsa in the championship standings here. These two pretty close coming into this round 4 of the season. It's looking like those two are going to be the championship contenders this season so far from what we've seen in the first 3 rounds. Morocco's still pretty close on the back of Rompu right now, 0.3 of a second between these two. It's got a couple of corners left to go on lap 33 of the race. So now just putting a lap there on Stones. Stones moving well out of the way, sorry. Raki says, John Jig, when someone overtakes me while racing, it ends up in an incident. I bet Raki is one of those guys who never comes out of the overtaking lane on the motorway. I bet you whenever he's driving on the motorway, he's always, well, hold on, in the Netherlands they drive on the right, don't they? So I imagine that it's the left hand lane is the overtaking lane. I bet that Raki's always in the left hand lane. I bet he never leaves the left hand lane. Oh no, as we see Rocco there losing it, coming out of oh, I've forgotten the name of the corner. Oh god, Graham Hill Bend, that's it. So Rocco there getting well out of shape, and he's got a bit of damage there on the front end of that Lexus. What a shame there. That's given Rompu a bit of breathing space. That's potentially, no, Ratchet's a bit too far back to be fair. That's not happening. He's 16 seconds adrift, but Rocco there's almost definitely put pay to his chances of getting onto the podium. Raki says, I love the F1 stream with your great commentating, and thank you very much, mate. I always appreciate your compliments. It really does mean a lot, and you're always chiming in on these streams and you're always saying hello, so it's massively appreciated, mate. Always good to see you, and very happy to have you as a member of this community as well. But Rocco there having a horror show of a moment. Gaps coming down at the front here, 2.2 seconds between Luck and Nils Barsa. This could be one that's going to go down to the wire between these two. Luck just seems to have not really had the luck over the last couple of laps here. Nils is bringing the gap down at quite a rate. And I think we're going to be seeing this one possibly settled over the next couple of the laps. What's Luck got in his locker to try and respond here? Nils gained another couple of tenths there in that first sector. Luck Morato currently hanging by a thread here. We know he's got the pace. Has he got the fight here? Has he got the composure to keep this together over the last few laps? As we are very much in the closing stages of this race here. Round 4 of the GT3s. Nils Baas has taken 2 out of 3 wins this season, looking to try and make it 3 out of 4. He's currently only got Luck Morato in his way. Took another 0.3 of a second there, coming through the middle sector. Nils Baas is on a charge here at the back end of this race. Rompu's dropping off the pace. He's 10 seconds behind us. He's now already falling back into the clutches of Rocco here, so Rompu must have made a mistake. And Rocco there all over the grass. Oh my goodness me, that was very, very close there for Rocco indeed. Oh, I tell you what, he's living dangerously there. As we see there though, oh no, Rompu's off, and that's given Rocco the position. Rocco's up into 3rd place there. Oh, I thought it was a back marker for a moment. Oh, Rompu's falling apart here. He gets a little bit onto the grass, and that might allow Yellow Army to unlap himself if Rompu's not careful. He's got a bit of damage on the front of that Ferrari, which will be affecting him ever so slightly now at this point. Raki says I saw a white Ferrari in the grass. Who drives a white Ferrari? I think that must be... Do you mean a pink Ferrari? Could have been just Dawes. Gap now 1.3. Gap 1.3 between the top 2, and it is coming down like no tomorrow. Although Luck Morato took another 1/10 of a second out of Nils on in that middle sector there. So Lux can see the number 18 Ferrari looming large in his mirrors, but every time it seems to be coming down a bit, he seems to find a little bit extra. But Nils can now taste this. He can now see the pink car very much in his crosshair. As they're now coming into the final corner, that gap looks like it's not much more than a second here. I see they come out onto the start-finish straight here. 6 minutes left to go in this race. This is going to go all the way down to the final lap, I think. If my calculations are right, I think we're going to have 4 laps here in this one. It's a 1:25 lap. Tell you what, we could have 5. Could be 5 laps left in this race, including this one. So I tell you what, that's plenty of opportunities for Nils Baas to get this done. He's now within 0.3 of a second here of Luck Morato. This is ever so tight between these two now, and Luck's been being hunted lap after lap after lap by Nils. As Nils is now pulling out of the slipstream here. He's going to look to the outside here, coming down to the end of the back straight. Luck's got to defend that inside line and cover it off. Nils is going to try and get this around the long way, but Luck's going to hold that preferred line there, and for the time being survives here. But this is ever so close now between these two. 5 minutes left to go in this race. Nils Baas, the championship leader, has got his championship rival now in 3rd place. He's now cleared Rompu there. So at the moment he'd gained 5 points on Rocco over this race, and he would extend his gap to 11 points in the championship. He would dearly love to take a win here and have a comfortable margin in the championship. He'd be leading by 18 points if he was able to, or sorry, no, by 16 points he'd have as a championship lead if he's able to take the win here at Brands Hatch tonight. What has he got here to try and throw at Luck Morato? 4.5 minutes left here in this race. This is going to be absolutely brilliant here. 4 laps left in this race for Nils Baas to try and take the win. Sean Freeman there, Eve says evening all, our GT4 league coordinator, one of our admins here at Motive, does a fantastic job on the scenes, behind the scenes, on the track as well. Freeman, one of the contenders in the GT4 championship, last season's runner-up on a Wednesday night. We're currently watching an absolutely thrilling end to this race as Nils Baas within 0.3 of a second of Luck Morato. Luck's defending this for everything he's got. Nils was closing in by about a second a lap before we got onto the back of him, but as Murray Walker always said, catching up is one thing, but overtaking is very much another. And at this point in the race, Luck Morato's demonstrating that as he's just keeping Nils at bay, putting his car in all the right places, not allowing any gaps to form, and he cuts the inside of that corner there. Oh, he's gone deep, and that's going to allow Nils up into the lead of the race. Nils Barca did not need a second invitation there. He swoops her up into the lead of the race. What can Luck do to try and come back at him here? I think that's going to be Nils with the race win in the bag there. Great stuff from Nils Barca. He hunted down his rival for this race win. He's now got P1. What happens next? Does Luck Morato come back at him here over the next couple of laps? 3 to go here in this race. And Nils Barca looking set to take a third win from 4 races over the course of this season, but it's not over yet. Luck Morato's now looking to the outside, and now Nils is going to have to defend the line coming up towards Druid's corner. Luck Morato's going to try and make this around the long way here as Nils defends that inside line and tags the curb a little bit. Oh no, Luck going all over the place there as he really wallops that curb coming through Druid's corner, and I think that's going to have allowed Nils just that moment, that respite that he needed there to just gather himself together, having taken the lead of the race on that previous lap. I think that Nils Barca is going to see this one out. Nils Barca there has taken the lead of this race, and the championship leader looking to try and extend his gap to 16 points to Rocco in the standings. Sean Freeman says Love Brands definitely my favourite track in ACC. We've seen some good results from you around here, mate, for sure. I believe it's supposed to be on the GT. I mean, it would be on the GT4 calendar this season. We haven't had it already, have we? That'd be embarrassing. No, we haven't. We haven't had it so far this season, but yeah, I love Brands as well, to be fair. I love driving it. I've driven it on this game, also Project Cars as well. Drove it on Gran Turismo as well back in the day. Love Brands Hatch. Always one of the more exciting tracks. It's uncompromising. You can never afford to relax or rest on your laurels for even a second. If you do, it will punish you. As we've got Nils Barca now leading this race, but Luck Morato, to be fair to him, hasn't let him go yet. As we see, only 0.8 of a second between these two. Penultimate lap of the race. Nils has got that position though, but Luck was making a few mistakes as Nils was hunting him down. If he can keep it together and get the pace back on here, maybe he might be able to have another crack at him, as he was making catalogue of errors before Nils got onto the back of him here. Gap between Rompu. Oh, sorry. Rompu's got back ahead of Rocco as we see. Oh, I can't back out yet. There we can. But Rompu's got back ahead of Rocco there up into third place, so he's now into the final podium spot. That's not going to be ideal for Rocco with his championship rubber now leading the race. Oh, Nils though, all over the grass. What is he doing? So Nils there doing everything he can to try and throw this race win away. Freeman says he's driven this track in real life, the Ferrari F458. That's awesome. Know a couple of people who've driven this track actually. Know a couple of people who've driven the Formula 3 cars around here as well. But we see Nils Barca here just about has got this lead at the moment over Luck Morato as they're coming out of the final corner. We're about to start one more lap here of Brands Hatch GP circuit. As here they come into Paddock Hill Bend for the 42nd time in this race. Luck Morato still on the back of Nils Barca right now. Freeman says full send last lap. I don't think he's got anything left. I think Nils had the pace on him as he was reeling him in, and since Nils got back ahead of him, Luck's been able to keep onto the back of him, but I don't know if Nils is eased off a little bit, but we've got half lap left to go in this one anyway. Looks like Nils has done enough here to bring this one home for the race win. Few corners left to go here. Luck really did have the luck with Nils and Rompu having their little collision, which gave him the race lead. Nils very sportsmanlike, allowed Rompu to back the position, but then he made sure he got back onto second place and he's hunted down Luck Morato. Nils Barca out of the last corner. He's going to take his third win from 4 races here in the GT3 Championship here on ACC at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and 5. What a win. Great drive from Nils Barca. Takes the checker flag here at Brands Hatch. He wins a great battle there against Luck Morato. Those two gave it everything, but Nils Barca once again a winner and extends his championship gap over Rocco, with Rocco losing out on the podium spots to Rompu. Rocco will definitely be kicking himself there. Rompu takes third place ahead of Rocco, who comes over the line in fourth. Ratched is coming through the final few corners, and it's going to be P5 for Ratched here in this race in the number 17 Bentley. Solid result here for Ratched as he's coming out of the last corner now to finish the race. He's a couple of seconds clear of SD12 Dash there running in P6, but Ratched over in 5th place ahead of SD12 in 6th. Yellow Army finishes a lap down in 8th place. Game for Life's finished also in P13. Scooter Red Paul coming through the final few corners. Where's Nilsson? Nilsson's just coming through the final couple of corners as well, as we see just Dons coming up towards the line. He'll finish this one in 11th place, as there he is over the line. Stones has got a couple of corners left to go. Nilsson's coming out of the last corner here up towards the line. Where's Scooter Red Paul? I think he's not too far behind. Nilsson's going to coast over the line here just about, with no fuel left in the car, as he's, there we go, yep, crosses the line. Paul comes over to take P7. There he is, as we see Stones finishing in 12th place there. Game for Life finished in P13. He's already crossed the line, and Spuz there, the last man over the line to finish the race in P10. Great driving from everybody out there tonight. Nils Barca taking the win after hunting down Luck Morato at the end there. Nils Barca P1 ahead of Luck Morato in 2nd. Rompu completing the podium in 3rd ahead of Rocco in 4th. Ratched takes 5th. SD12 Dash in 6th, followed by Scooter Red Paul taking 7th place here in this race. Out of Yellow Army in 8th. Nilsson 9th. Spuz in 10th place. Just Dawn's couple of laps down in 11th ahead of Stones in 12th, followed by Game for Life in P13. Awesome Gumball, Emo Guy, J Pilato and Raki all retiring from the race a long way out there. But what a night of racing here at Motive on the PlayStation 4 and 5 here for the GT3s at Brands Hatch. A big thank you to everybody who joined us tonight, to everybody who commented. Please guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, as it really does help us out an enormous amount. If you want to get involved, be sure to go to www.motiveracing.com as well, sign up to the leagues and become a part of the on-track action which you see out on the track in front of you, or which you have been watching over the course of tonight. But yeah, from all of us, it's a big thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Make sure you join us for the next round of the GT3s, same time, same place, next week here on the Motive channel. Yeah, thanks everybody once again, and see you soon.
No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
On through it, and Ultra Campus takes the checkered flag here at Bahrain. It's